kids. My name is Jill Dittbenner and I'm a mural artist here in Manchester, New Hampshire. And I've created this video just to share with you some of my art. I hope you enjoy it. Here we have King Kong, Audrey Hepburn up here, and just some of the row houses and other buildings of old Manchester, New Hampshire. And when I make a mural, I always try to include as many different kinds of people as I can, to be inclusive of all the people who live in the city and all the people who are welcome in the city. When designing a mural, it's important to think about how the entire wall is going to look. Even though this wall you can't see the whole thing all at once because there are some obstacles in the way, it's still important to consider, how do all of these different scenes and objects take up the space. And so I liked dividing it into past and present. We have the front figures in the present with their colorful clothing and they're ready to go to the theater. And then we have people in the background who are kind of going about their daily life, maybe leaving their homes to go to work. So I think it's there. Anyway, I love making public art for people to see and enjoy in the city, and I love walking around my city and being surprised by the different art that I see there or in other places when I visit. It can take a while from the inception of an idea until the completion of the project. This phone was next to the pottery studio where I was doing work, and so I saw it and wanted to put something in it. The figures that I made represent my grandfather and just some other musicians. It's an apartment building, and even though this phone has been vandalized a few times, it's still one of my favorite because it's one of the first things I made, and it's just very unique. Some projects are collaborations. So this is a collaboration with a group called Friends of Art. There's 3 of us working on it. One person came up with the hands, and then the other 2 of us helped along with colors and little parts in the background, like the weeds along the bottom. When you're working with a group, you have to be willing to accept other people might have a good idea. This project is a electric box, so you apply by filling out the application and then coming up with an idea. A committee has to select the idea to be painted, and then there are several of these for each time that they run the outside the box little contest thing. My niece and I enjoy going to diners together, and of course right now during the coronavirus it's difficult to get together in these public spaces. So it's even more important for the art to show how we really want to be interacting with each other and know that we're not all alone in this. We're in it together, and we're going to get through it. I think especially during the pandemic, it's important that the spaces that people are allowed to visit and be in can have some kind of encouragement and intrigue. So it's like a little mystery, who painted this and why is this here? Let me think about what the artist might be trying to say to me. For the last 10 years, I've been taking trips to Honduras to do service projects like this one. This is a mural that we painted on a kindergarten, Jardín del Niños, and I designed most of the mural. The top half is a tree with children getting ready to go to school, and the bottom half is these children playing in the colorful water. So I go with a group called Positive Street Art, and we make murals in Honduras with locals. I can speak a little bit of Spanish, enough to get by. Hey everybody, I have brought you to my Paisley Ocean box. So on this side we have some sea otters kind of swimming through the Paisley, and then whales. And in this particular box I definitely was just trying to have fun, give people something happy and exciting to look at. This side's got some lobsters and rays, a few seahorses on the post, and then the seal side. I always try to think about all the different surfaces of my art and make sure that everything is interesting, so I'm going to show you the top of this one too. This is on Elm Street, right near where Portland Pie used to be. So I'm supposed to be answering the question, why do we make public art? And one of the reasons that I like to make public art is it's fun. So this door is the back of the Rex Theater, and it had some graffiti on it, and the owner asked if I would just paint it over while I was painting the mural on the other side, and so I said sure. and I painted a T-Rex because it's kind of like a little joke, Rex Theater T-Rex. But I'm going to show you this other mural. It's painted by City Year, which is a group of volunteers that come and work in the city for a year, and they get paid a stipend. It's kind of a cool way to figure out, you know, what you're interested in, and they made this mural together. Today, this is a library telephone box. So I painted it near the Manchester City Library. It's right across the street over here. And again, what I want to say about painting the phone boxes is there are so many different surfaces that you can focus in on and make beautiful for anybody who's passing by. Inside this one, I made some pottery books. I just picked out some of my favorite books and tried to do a variety. So we got Charlotte's Webs and Amelia Bedelia. This little character is Harriet the Spy. And then I also put Stephen King as my favorite author. I know maybe not appropriate for everyone because he's a little scary, but Anne Frank and The Hobbit I know is a popular book. And then Jaws. So around this box I have different people reading and enjoying. So public art can sometimes be a statement about what's important, and I definitely think reading is important. Sometimes I include family members in my art, so this one is my niece Lily and my niece Ava here. She loves Calvin and Hobbes, and Lily loves elephants. So I hope you enjoyed this little look at the library phone, and I'll see you at the next project. I almost forgot to tell you about this part of the phone. This here used to be a holder for the phone book. So I painted the library on the outside and the library on the inside. Here's a small project I did at another gas station. It's another phone box. It has some of the things that have time passed, like the switchboard, and then over here we have Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King. A little bus coming through to represent the busing through. Sorry, the video is weird. And inside there's a jukebox with some 1950s dancing, Elvis Presley on the bottom here. So these phones are a good opportunity to explore and have a little fun with things that are happening. I had to go up pretty high on my ladder to reach that top of that post. It was cool. This is a mural on a new building for ORIS, which stands for Organization for Refugee and Immigrant Success. And the building is sort of like a farmer's market where they sell vegetables and other homemade products. So our design for the mural includes an actual outdoor farmer's market and lots of different colors and designs. You can see the three prominent African women facing the crowd, and then lots of just different people at the market buying vegetables. So I'll take you as a walkthrough. This little girl in the mural, it was a little girl that actually walked by the mural while we were painting one day, and her mom was teasing her that this girl, who was already painted, was her, and the little girl said, "No, that's not me." And so we joked that we were going to paint her into the mural. We took a picture of her, and this is her painted into our mural. That's the fun of making public art. You have the ability to include the community and let it happen as you're painting it. Let it come together. So thanks for visiting my mural today. Painting the back of the Rex is the largest project I've ever done. It is a solo project. I designed the whole thing and then painted the whole thing myself. I love all the colors that come together and create these giant figures. I got to use a lift for the first time. This here is my design, and then here is the actual mural. I loved getting up high, and it was really difficult to try to take these small drawings and turn them into giant painting. A painting that was difficult to step back from. You know, if you do any art, it's always good to step away from your work and see what it looks like from far away. But here are some close-ups just so you can see what I was working with. It's painted in primary colors, as you can see, which kind of leaves it to your imagination where these people came from or what they might really look like. but they belong together because their color scheme is the same. I think it has a lot of movement and excitement because of the coloring, and that's kind of the way you want it. You want to be able to look at it and say, hey, these musicians could be right in the middle of a song, and some of them have their eyes closed because they're into their music, and some of them are looking at you, and I kind of like just this whole scene. I think it's fun and good for the area. You know, you can see this is really just like a trashy alley, but if you come over here, something nice to look at. So that's all I have to tell you today about my murals. This is just, you can see around where the Rex mural is, but I hope you enjoyed this little look at my art, to see kind of here I am in the world, and this is what I'm putting out there. And I hope you have a chance someday to come into Manchester and see some of the great art that we have around our city.